Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this next keynote. This keynote is about what does it take to be a sustainable company nowadays and what it means. A lot has been said about corporate social responsibility, and sustainability in general these past few years. In fact, in the past 2 decades, we've seen the rise of these terms, which were previously known only to a few. So what is this all about? What does it take to be a sustainable company? To answer these questions, we have with us Athina Nusiopoulou, who is the Communications and Corporate Social Responsibility Coordinator at ISOMAT. ISOMAT is a producer of building chemicals and mortars with a multinational perspective and is very committed to innovation and the constant development of new products. At ISOMAT, Athena coordinates activities such as financial support and sponsorship programs to all types of stakeholders, supporting the company in developing, managing, and altering social responsibility policies, as well as promoting this internally. Previously, actually, she also worked a lot on startup innovation and in a positive ecosystem for startups. Now, how important is it for companies nowadays to adopt strategies that make them not only appear, but actually be sustainable? This is what Athena will also be discussing. Before we start, I would like to remind our viewers that you are all very welcome to post your questions for Athena in the comments on this stream, either in YouTube or in Facebook. That said, I will gladly give the floor to Athena to share with us her thoughts on what it takes to be a sustainable company these days. Athena, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Sana, for the introduction and for the welcoming keynote. So now it's about time for me to share with you my keynotes. I'm just trying to find here my presentation. Oh, sorry, it must be somewhere here. Oh, I'm sorry about the delay. Sorry about that. Okay, I think that we are on now, doing about the presentation here. Thank you very much, Sana, again for the introduction here. So what am I going to talk to you about is that what does it take to be a sustainable company nowadays? And why does it matter? Why is it important for you to know why is it important? So this is the table of our contents of our presentation. First, we're going to have a definition of what is CSR, or corporate social responsibility, corporate responsibility and sustainability. What does it take to be a sustainable company nowadays? The importance for companies to adopt strategies to be sustainable and responsible companies. What do they gain or lose if they don't support sustainable strategies? Do consumers or other stakeholders actually appreciate and reward sustainable companies? Now we're going to check a bit to see about what COVID-19 pandemic crisis did actually towards this direction. And by closing our remarks, we're going to talk about ISOMAT. What is my company doing and how does it do it and its sustainable stigma? So first of all, we're going to the first thing. What is the definition of the term? What is CSR? The best definition of CSR, which is corporate social responsibility or sustainability, is the responsibility of enterprises for their impacts on society, environment, marketplace, and the workplace. It is obvious that in the last 15 or 20 years, there have been very important changes and developments during this direction. From charity, we are now moving on to something that is now almost mandatory. And in many cases, there is also legislation about companies that have to deal with corporate responsibility. There are serious European legislation for companies in the stock market that employ more than 500 people and is required to publish a kind of reporting. I suppose many of you know that, on these issues. They're talking about when we're talking about the environment, marketplace, and the workplace and society in general. So, what does sustainability mean for a company? Sustainability in companies generally addresses to four main pillars. First, to employees, then to the environment, third to the society, and fourth to the marketplace when we're talking about customers, suppliers, etc. The goal of a sustainable company strategy is to have a positive impact in all these areas. When companies fail to assume responsibility, the opposite can actually happen, leading to issues like, among others, environmental degradation, inequality, social injustice, reputation loss, potential crisis, of course, for the company. But if the company actually trying to follow sustainable programs and strategies, what does it have to gain? Of course, its public image is improved. And this is crucial as consumer assess the company public image when deciding whether they want to buy from it or not. Something simple like staff members volunteering an hour a week at a charity. And if they're going to do that, the brand is committed to helping others. As a result, that actually appears much more favorable to consumers. Increase the brand awareness and recognition is increased. If the company is committed to ethical practices, of course, that will be spread. More people will therefore hear about the brand, which actually creates and increased brand awareness. The cost savings. Many simple changes in favor of sustainability, such as using less packaging, will decrease the production costs. We have, of course, an advantage over other competitors. By embracing CSR, a company actually embraces CSR, the company stands out from the other competitors and the regular industry. It establishes itself as a company committed to going one step further by considering the other social and environmental factors. Of course, we actually at the same time have increased customer engagement. By the use of sustainable systems, the company can post it on every media channel and create a story out of its efforts. Furthermore, it should show its effort to local media outlets in the hope that they will give it some coverage. Customers will follow this and engage with the brand and the operations as well. And this is actually something that we do in ISOMAT, and I will explain to you later. What actually happens? What are also the benefits when a company does CSR strategy? Greater employee engagement. Similar to customer engagement, then companies should also need to ensure that the companies know CSR strategies. It is proven that employees enjoy working for a company that has a good public image than one that doesn't have. And last but not least, more benefits for the employees. There are also a range of benefits for the employees when the company embraces CSR. Workplace will be a more positive and productive place to work, and by promoting things like volunteering, personal and professional growth is encouraged. So we can see from the above that beyond helping curb the global challenges, sustainability can drive business success. An important number of investors and funds today use environmental, social, and governance, or else as we call it, ESG metrics, to, to account an organization's ethical impact and sustainable practices. Investors look at factors such as a company's carbon footprint or the water waste, community development efforts, in order to see how they are doing, and so to know, to want or not to invest in this company. Companies with high ESG ratings out of a result of sustainable strategies have a lower cost of debt and equity and improve financial performance while fostering public support. There is also a very nice slide here, which summarizes all the above in the most perfect way for me. We have corporate social responsibility in the middle, and around it, all the benefits that a company actually gains when it's doing corporate social responsibility strategies. Of course, as we said before, there is a development of an improvement of its brand and corporate reputation. We have environmental, social, and governance improvement as well, diversity and inclusivity, corporate citizenship, and we have philanthropy and volunteering among the employees. Business practices and principles are improved in the company, and what else? Help the environment as well. So under these circumstances, do consumers and stakeholders embrace sustainable companies? In the bottom line, yes, of course. Consumers prefer people-friendly organizations and environmental protection. The days when consumers made a purchase decision based strictly on product quality and price doesn't no longer exist. Today's consumers are much more demanding and they have shown a significant preference for the environment and people-friendly organizations. There has been an investigation a few years ago, which actually shed some light on the topic, saying that 55% of respondents reported being willing to pay more for product services from companies committed to positive social and environmental impact. 52% of respondents reporting purchasing at least one product or service in the past 6 months from a socially responsible company. 4 out of 10 respondents reported they made a sustainable purchase in the preceding 6 months. And closing, we could say that 52% of respondents say their purchase decision was at least partially affected by social and environmental impact labels, notifications on packaging. So we can see that, of course, under these circumstances, yes, a company should use sustainable strategies. And even now, after, since we're going through still the COVID-19 pandemic crisis, companies this looks like it will act as a catalyst when it comes to matters of CSR, as the conditions that emerged lead dozens of companies to act promptly by announcing and implementing programs to support the public health sector and effect programs to assist population groups that were hit in various ways by the pandemic, as well their employees. What actually changed is that companies that had not previously adopted similar programs or did not follow CSR practices responded to this crisis. This is a very good development and can be used as the basis towards taking their next steps in sustainability. Because even the companies that have not done much so far will recognize the value of these programs and the strategy, and little by little, as long as economic conditions, of course, allow the situation, will work in that direction. And when companies work with a purpose, they achieve greater added value, of course, for both the society and the business itself. So what do we do in ISOMAT? First of all, with all our strategies, we defend basic human rights. We defend individual and vulnerable groups through our programs. Support, and that has to do, of course, with the society and with our employees. Support charitable associations, organization support to other relevant agencies as well. We support employees. Our employees will ensure safe and healthy working conditions, justness in the treatment of our employees, ensuring a fair system of remuneration and benefits, and continuous training through technical and educational seminars. We also support our local community. We have employee recruitment from there,